Mindset. This will be the last module of my course because through my anorexia journey, I had to learn a lot about my inner dialogue, about mindset, psychology, not just only on the side of nutrition and health, but also just regarding mental health and your own inner dialogue. So I want to give you my mental framework on how I basically mastered or almost mastered my inner dialogue, because I believe you can almost not master it, but you can go pretty far. And I want to give you my core beliefs about life and about my overall mindset, what it all means and how you can basically crush it by just changing your mindset a little bit. The first thing I want to talk about is inner purpose, or better say, higher purpose. I started to reread the book Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. He was a psychologist that survived Auschwitz, that survived one of the biggest concentration camps of the Germans during the Second World War. And in his book, he talks about what led some people to survive that experience and why some people lost hope and then also died as a result. And he says, if you don't have a meaning for your personal suffering, it will be really hard to come out of that suffering. So you can apply that to your fitness journey, especially like if you just go to the gym and your why, your purpose is not that big. You maybe just do it because you want to look better, to attract girls or to attract guys, or you want that all the people think you're cool. It's a really superficial kind of why, you know, it's not really deep. And then if something becomes hard, you're mostly not going to stick through your fitness endeavors and not reach your goals. So what I did back in the days, for example, when I had anorexia, I knew almost from the beginning that I wanted to overcome that, to be able to teach other people, to be able to help other people, to become a stronger and better person. So my why was so deep that I knew, okay, like every ounce of suffering I experience will just help me to grow and to become a better person. So for you also on your fitness journey, like maybe you can motivate your friends if you become healthier. Maybe you can motivate your sister if you have a younger sister. Or maybe by just becoming healthier, the probability for you to see your grandkids and to be just more vital and more fit will give you so much more value to your life. You know, just think a little bit bigger, have a bigger purpose for the things you're doing. If you just have like a superficial kind of motivation for the things you're doing, you're not going to get far. So the same for me when I started my YouTube journey. A lot of people, or not a lot, but some people were making fun of my accent because I'm a native Swiss German person, speaker, better say. And they made fun of my accent, like, yeah, what do you want to accomplish with your YouTube channel? You know, what do you want to do? Like, it's stupid. But I knew, like, even that kind of suffering I was experiencing was just a reason more to do it, because I was like, hey man, if I can learn English properly, if I can become if I can have better presence in front of the camera, I will be able to motivate way more people to start their YouTube channels, and it will have a huge ripple effect. So everything that I do in my life that I stick to long term has a bigger purpose, has a bigger meaning to it. So I'm asking you, what is the bigger purpose for your life, for your endeavors? What is the bigger purpose for you to get fit? Is it something superficial, or is it something bigger that actually gives you the drive to crush it, gives you the drive to follow through? And you can even look at it on a bigger scale, like what is the higher purpose for your life? My purpose right now is to help people to become their best selves through nutrition and exercise. What is your bigger purpose? And even better, if you can link your bigger purpose to a kind of suffering you experienced back in the days, it will give you such a deep motivation that you can almost not stop. For me, I knew when I was 18, 19, coming out of anorexia, I was like, yeah, I want to become healthy because I want to help people. I want to motivate people to be their best selves. And the suffering I experienced is actually good. It's one of the best things that ever happened to me. Because actually, if something happens to you right now, something bad, I know there's like the coronavirus out there, a lot of people are struggling with unemployment. It's a pretty hard situation. So you can ask yourself right now, most people are depressed. They tell themselves, why me? Why me? Why is this happening to me? I'm such a victim. So they become bitter. But at the same time, you can also decide to become better. So always when something hits the fan, when you hit or when you experience a lot of suffering, you can always ask yourself, do I become bitter or do I become better? And I took that concept from one of my biggest mentors, Owen Cook. He's one of the best personal development YouTubers out there. And he also says, to become better, so do you ask yourself, is this the best thing that ever happened to me? Or how can I grow from that? How is this adding to my life experience? How can I become a better person through that? Or you can also ask yourself, why me? Why is this happening to me? And your brain, your mind will always come up with answers. Like you can ask yourself whatever you want, you will always come up with answers. So the difference between really successful people, people that crush it, they ask themselves the right questions and they come from a space of abundance. So why is this the best thing that ever happened to you? Why is you being maybe chubby or fat the best thing that ever happened to you? I argue it's a good thing because now you need to learn more about nutrition. And if you wouldn't be overweight right now or a little bit chubby right now, you would never inform yourself that much about nutrition. So maybe then later on when you're 50, 60, you would perhaps die from cancer because you ate so shitty. But now you have to face that. You have to face your nutrition journey and you become better. Maybe you can teach other people. Maybe you get so much self-esteem from your nutrition journey, from your fitness journey that you will go into other spheres, become someone you always want to become through that suffering. So why are you suffering right now? Find the bigger purpose in there, find the bigger meaning in there, and then use it for energy, to crush it in all the other areas of your life. Also, what I want to ask you, like on the bigger sphere, like what is the bigger purpose for your life? Why are you here? What's your life mission? As I told you before, mine is to make you the best version of yourself through nutrition and exercise. But what's yours? What's yours? What are you living for right now? And if you don't have a specific thing, just make your purpose to have a purpose later on. Make your life purpose right now to figure out what your life purpose is. So try out new stuff, ask yourself who you are, take some personality tests, go deep, ask your parents what kind of kid you were back in the days, because this will also give you a lot of hints what you're good at, what your talents are. Already when I was a kid, I was reading books. My parents told me I was reading books about animals. I was into biology. I started to work out already when I was like 13, 14. I was editing videos when I was 14 already. Just ask your parents, ask your friends, what were you into back in the days? What kind of kid were you? But just go deep and ask yourself, where could you find your talent? And then, live through that. And it's advice that not a lot of people will follow because it's pretty harsh. But for me, it worked. And it's funny, like then, even if your life will not be the best life in the terms of materialistic things, maybe you will not be as successful as you want to be, but just because your life has a meaning, you will be actually fulfilled. Like the most fulfilling times for me have been when I had a lot of meaning. Here, recording the online course, for me it's amazing because I realized the suffering I experienced back in the days now made me a better person to be here with you and to talk about that stuff. That's the first thing. The second thing I want to talk about is faith or belief. Believe, I call it the universe, you can call it God. Just the belief that everything is happening for you, not to you. Like something I say a lot is the universe gives you what you need, not what you want. So also with my anorexia, when I had it, I was like I was afraid, I was angry, I almost killed myself. But it's what I needed because of my anorexia, I went on this path of personal development, reading books, crushing it in life. And funny enough, also you can ask yourself that in every situation. Like my first breakup actually was when I was 19, and I was already buying books back then. I had like Eckhart Tolle at home and Tony Robbins, and I was with her. I was super happy. I was not really reading books. But then when she broke up with me, I was like, let's show her that she's wrong. Let's show her that I deserve her. Let's show her wrong. Let's just become so good that she wants me back. And I started to read books because of that. I went on this journey of reading books, and now look at me. I would never take her back because now I have an even better girlfriend. I love her from the bottom of my heart, and I just was able to attract that girl because I became a better person. And it's just like funny to see how these little obstacles, if you interpret them right, can make you way more stronger. So I believe I installed in my brain is everything that happens to me happens for my growth. And it's just a belief, you can choose your own belief. Some people think life is a hustle, life is hard. My grandma, she grew up during Second World War. She always says life is a fight. I don't agree. For me, life is something else. I will talk about that later on. I have a specific belief about that. But I always say, okay, everything is happening for me, not against me. So everything that happens that feels bad in the beginning, I always ask myself, why is this happening for me? Why? And a good example regarding this corona crisis, I moved to Berlin. I moved to a new city right before the coronavirus crisis hit. So I moved to Berlin, and my girlfriend lived near Berlin. She lived in Poland, and I wanted to enjoy my life. I was just like chilling, seeing my girlfriend every weekend. I went to Poland, had an amazing life, just enjoyed everything. But the problem was then, my girlfriend went to India, visited her parents, just wanted to visit them for 1 month. But now she's stuck there, so I'm not able to see her anymore since like over 4 months now. Almost 4 months, better say. And I was just in Berlin. I was like, dude, why me? Why is it happening right now? I went into victimhood quite fast for like half a day. But then I was like, okay, why is this the best thing that ever happened to me? And I realized, oh, in my building, there's a home gym, a pretty cool home gym. And I always wanted to push my business because now I cannot I cannot work on my dating life. I cannot enjoy my dating life as much because my girlfriend is not here. Of course, we're video calling every day. But I was like, yes, she's not here, so what do I do now with my time? So I started to work more on my business. I made a plan. I worked on my business skills. I went to the gym. I made insane gains. I had a home gym. And I realized, okay, it's probably the best thing that ever happened to me because without the coronavirus crisis happening, I would never record an online course. I would never be here talking to you. And I would never be as motivated to work on my business than right now. Because the thing is, I believe in that quite strongly. Like always, when you're getting too comfortable in life and you stop growing, the universe will realize it and will put something into your way, like an obstacle, sometimes pretty big, sometimes smaller, just to tease you and to put you to the next level. And for me, it was exactly Corona thing, because I was always afraid of pandemics, I'm afraid of harsh diseases, and I'm afraid of financial crises, and everything happened at the same time. I was also afraid to not see my girlfriend for long, so this happened as well. So it's like, oh dude, it's such a joke. It's almost like a cosmic joke, man. It's almost funny. I'm like, dude, okay. I get the message, bro. I get the message. Let me just grow, And now I'm here. I'm working on my business, and it's a little fun. But just ask yourself, why is this the best thing that ever happened to me? This was just one of many examples. But it's a mental habit you need to install in your brain. It's literally a mental habit. And for example, if you read the book by Nassim Taleb, it's called Anti-Fragile. He talks about 3 kinds of people. It's almost the same concept because he talks about fragile people. So some people are fragile. They break fast, like physically and mentally. Some people are robust, so they don't break as fast physically and mentally, but they still have a breaking point. And anti-fragile people, they're not like very robust in the beginning, so they can still break quite fast, but as soon as they break, they just become stronger. Every time an anti-fragile person breaks, an anti-fragile business breaks, an anti-fragile structure somewhere breaks, it's becoming stronger. And especially in terms of anti-fragile people, it's just a mindset shift you need to make. So as soon as I read that book by Nassim Taleb of becoming anti-fragile, Viktor Frankl, A Man's Search for Meaning, and this belief about the universe giving me what I need, not what I want, I knew everything that is happening to me that is quite stressful, it's just there to make me stronger. So I can become a stronger and better person, and by becoming stronger and better, I can give more value to the world and make the world a better place, help more people, and just grow and grow and grow and grow. And then at the end of the day, as soon as my belief, doesn't need to be your belief, but as soon as I grew enough, I basically die, and maybe I start over somewhere. I don't know where I go after death, but it's just one of my beliefs, because I think like you can believe everything you want about life. Why not choose beliefs that help you? And this belief is quite affirming, because everything that happens, I could lose everything right now, I would find a way to level up. Because also there's another book by Marcus Aurelius called Meditations. He's a Stoic philosopher, and even these guys talk about the same. Like he says as well, how do you know that you're ready for a challenge appearing in your life? How do you know that you right now are ready for this whole corona crisis? It's pretty easy. You are ready because the challenge happens. As soon as something comes into your life, a challenge, it means you're ready. Nothing else. You will never get a challenge that you're not ready for. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's my belief about life. Pretty encouraging, and I hope it may make you think. So actually one thing I want to talk about as well in my course, it's not just about nutrition, but it's about life in general. And also last thing, or 2 last things, is one thing is also, what's the paradigm of your life? Are you the main character in your life, or are you just the main character watching other people? Because I decided quite early in my life, like in my early 20s, that my life is a movie. I was watching Joe Rogan podcast, and in the podcast he said that, in the beginning of every movie, the movie character is broke, has low self-esteem, has maybe no girlfriend, no good job. And then he starts the movie, and then the movie becomes great because the guy or the girl was broke and had low self-esteem. So similar things happened to me in my early 20s. Again, I had a time of like harsh things happening for my standards. So I was like, yeah, let's just be the hero in my own movie and look at my life through this lens. Instead of taking everything seriously, I'm the hero in my own movie. I'm like Tyler Durden from Fight Club, or I'm Neo from The Matrix, and I just took on this belief. And funny enough, as soon as you take on this belief, it's funny what happens, because you're not that identified with the things happening, because even if a bad things happen, it's still part of a good movie, because you have good scenes, you have bad scenes, some people come into your life, some people go, and then it just adds to the whole movie. And this movie concept is something I ingrained into my psychology, and it's just funny how then everything changes, because always when I'm in a situation, I'm just like, yeah, let's see how far I can take it. Let's see how interesting the movie can get. Let's just record the online course to see what happens. Let's just see, let's just make it really professional and see what happens. And, just like, are you the hero in your own movie? That's the thing I want to ask you. And as soon as you are, even if something goes down the drain, the universe gives you what you need, not what you want. It's still a cool story of the movie. And the cool thing about the movie also is you don't know if the movie's going to turn out good or not, right? Happy endings are just in Disney movies. So, it's like kind of, I want to see where can I take it? Where can I take it, Yeah, it's just kind of cool thing to think about, in my opinion. The last thing also about mindset, one thing I ingrained in my psyche, especially after doing a lot of Vipassana retreats. I will probably do my 4th one next week. So I did one 10-day course, 2 3-day courses. I also did a lot of meditation techniques. I have some friends that are really into meditation. And I realized that through meditation that I should probably not trust my mind too much. I go so far that I don't even call it my mind. I call it the mind. The reason being is all the thoughts you have right now are probably not really individual thoughts. Maybe the names of the people in your life, your mom. I mean, your mom just exists once on this planet. Of course, it's really individual. But the context is kind of universal. Like, we all worry about like our girlfriend, our boyfriend, our future, our money, our health. You worry a lot about the same things. You have similar thoughts on a daily, weekly, yearly basis. So why should it be your mind if you have similar thoughts like other people? It's just like a human thing to have these thoughts. So I call it the mind, because then I'm not identified with the thoughts anymore. I don't even call them my thoughts. I just call them thoughts. So it's just the mind doing its thing, worrying. Like, sometimes just going through my day, I'm like, interesting, now I'm worried about that, and I have that thought, I have this thought, like, It's just like, disconnect a little bit from your mind, like, be aware of your self-talk and disconnect and just analyze your self-talk a bit. Like, one thing I tell my clients and my friends as well is talk to yourself like you would talk to your best friend. Because if you would talk to your best friend like you talk to yourself in your head, you would not have any friends anymore. 100%. So also be aware of that. That's just some things that I learned on my anorexia journey, because I had to learn it, otherwise I would have died at an early age. So I just wanted to give you guys my perspective and my mindset hacks, so to say, and to make you think a little bit. So thanks a lot for watching that video.